I have always believed that our lives are predetermined. Everything we do, everything we say, every choice we make is already decided by forces beyond our control. We're just puppets dancing to the tune of fate. But what if I told you there was a place where fate took an unexpected twist? A town where everyone knew your name and your birthday and your deepest fears and your greatest dreams. Welcome to this chilling tale. It all started with a simple road trip. Our protagonist, let's call him Alex, was driving through the heartland of America. The radio was playing some old classic rock and the sun was setting over the endless fields of corn. Suddenly, his car broke down in the middle of nowhere. No signal, no houses, just miles and miles of corn. Just when he was about to lose hope, he saw a faint light in the distance. It was a neon sign. Hope surged through him like a jolt of electricity. He stumbled towards it, his heart pounding in his chest. As he got closer, the sign came into focus. It read, "Welcome to Harmony Ridge." Alex felt a sense of relief wash over him. Finally, help was at hand. He walked into town, his eyes adjusting to the dim glow of the streetlights. It was the kind of place where everyone seemed to know everyone else. The local diner was bustling with people. Laughter echoed from a nearby bar, and the scent of freshly cut grass mingled with the sweet aroma of barbecue. It was a typical American town, the kind you'd see in movies, except for one small detail. Everyone in the town knew who he was, and they knew things about him that he'd never told anyone. A woman he'd never seen before walked up to him and said, "Alex, I presume you must be hungry. Why don't you join us for dinner?" Before he could respond, a man with a booming laugh slapped him on the back and said, "Heard you were coming? Alex, we were wondering how long it would take you to show up." Confused and slightly creeped out, Alex followed them to a table filled with friendly faces. They introduced themselves as the townspeople of Harmony Ridge. And then they did something that made the blood freeze in his veins. They started whispering his full name, not just his first name or nickname, but his entire name. The one his mother had chosen for him all those years ago. It wasn't just that. They also whispered his birthday, his parents' names, and things about him that he'd never told anyone. Things that were so personal they were like secrets. As the night wore on, Alex found himself trapped in a nightmare of recognition. Every time he turned around, someone new was whispering his name and reciting facts about him like a broken record. He tried to escape, but it was as if the town had a hold on him. The more he tried to break free, the deeper into the web he became entangled. He awoke in a cold sweat, the memory of the previous night vivid in his mind. Was it a dream, a hallucination, or something more sinister? The sun was shining, birds were tweeting, and the town looked like any other picturesque neighborhood. But Alex couldn't shake off the feeling that something was terribly wrong. He decided to leave, to get as far away from Harmony Ridge as possible. But as he started his car, a group of children appeared, their eyes wide and innocent. "Where are you going, Alex?" they asked in unison, their voices echoing his name like a haunting refrain. "We know you're leaving, but why? Don't you like living here in Harmony Ridge?" Determined to put this unsettling experience behind him, Alex drove away from the town. But as the miles rolled by, he realized that something was very wrong. His cell phone, which had been dead the night before, was now working, and when he checked his messages, he found a series of strange text messages. They were from Harmony Ridge, from the very people he had met the night before. One message read, "We're waiting for you to come back, Alex," while another simply said, "You can't escape Harmony Ridge." As days turned into weeks, Alex tried to put the incident out of his mind. But the messages kept coming, and with them the unsettling feeling that he was being watched. Then, one evening, he received a call that shattered the fragile peace he had been trying to build. It was the police. They had found a body in Harmony Ridge, a body that matched his description. It was a woman named Sarah. He didn't know her, but the police suspected that she might have been the reason for his sudden appearance in the town. They needed him to return immediately. As he drove back to Harmony Ridge, a sense of dread washed over him. He hadn't wanted to go back, but he had no choice. He had to clear his name. When he arrived, the town seemed eerily quiet. The streets were deserted. The houses were dark. It was as if everyone had vanished into thin air. He went to the police station, but it was empty. There was no sign of life, no indication of where everyone had gone. Suddenly, he heard a familiar voice. "Alex, you're back. We've been waiting for you." The speaker stepped out of the shadows, and it was then that Alex realized what was happening. It wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't a random event. It was all planned. He had been lured back to Harmony Ridge, but why? Before he could ask any questions, the townspeople appeared, surrounding him in a tight circle. Their faces were pale, their eyes were blank. It was as if they had rehearsed this moment. They began to chant his name, and it was a horrifying sound. It was a sound that echoed the darkness in their hearts, the darkness that had driven them to do something unthinkable. They confessed to the police that they had killed Sarah because she was different, because she didn't fit into their perfect little world. They had lured her to the town under false pretenses, promising her a life of happiness and community, only to turn on her when she arrived. They had taken away her life, just as they had taken away the lives of others who had dared to enter their town. In the end, Alex managed to escape, but he was forever changed by what he had seen. He carried the scars of Harmony Ridge with him, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unsuspecting places. If you enjoyed this suspenseful tale, don't forget to stay tuned for more spine-tingling stories. Until next time, may your nights be filled with peaceful dreams and your days with joyful adventures. And remember, sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones that seem the most friendly.